Rolling.
Okay, so we're here to discuss how to set up a youth sports shoot efficiently, and so that basically at the end of the day the coordinator and the people involved with the league have an overall good impression of your photography company. You, as a photographer, as a business owner, it's very important to understand that from the perspective of the client, the photo is the end product, but the picture day is where you're going to be judged. Okay, so you can have a really well-run picture day, and maybe somebody makes a mistake on the photography, and they'll forgive you for that. If you have a picture day that goes badly, runs behind schedule, photographers aren't polite, every photo you take will go under a microscope, and basically, even if you take good pictures, they're going to call them bad pictures simply because they have an overall bad impression of your company. So let's start out with some basic things. Before you even do the shoot, you want to make sure that the coordinator puts a schedule together, or you can put it together for them using the game schedules. But one way or another, you want to have a picture day schedule, and you want every team to have a time. Okay, you don't want the schedule to be everybody come after your game. Okay, and then you find out 13 games end at one time, so you have 500 people coming every 2 hours all at once. I've actually been on a shoot where that happened, and it's not pleasant. It was a shoot where the previous coordinator always did a schedule. New guy came in, I didn't confirm things with him. This was years ago, and he just decided it would be better to just tell all 13 teams to come at once. So I was standing there with 3 photographers and myself, and we literally had 500 people walking at us every 2 hours. So basically, review the schedule, make sure that teams are given incremental times. And what I mean by that, generally, you don't want to have a schedule where it says 3 teams every 15 minutes, okay? It's much better to have a schedule 1 team every 5 minutes, which nets out to the same thing. But that way, the teams are coming through your check-in process on pace. You don't have 3 teams standing there at one time where everybody wants to be helped. And they also know who goes first, because sometimes you have this issue where 2 teams will come at once and then they both want to get in and out of there. And if you know who goes first, then you can resolve that by pointing to the schedule. If they all have the same time, it's hard to resolve that. So again, try to do schedules like that. There are companies out there that'll tell the coordinators to do, like 3 teams every 15 minutes. I've never really agreed with that, okay? And then before the shoot, get everyone's contact number for the league, know who's going to be there from the league, make sure they have your contact number in case something changes. If anybody needs a key to get in somewhere, make sure you have the phone number for the key. The person with the key, I can't tell you how many times I've been standing outside a gate or trying to get in a parking lot where the guy with the key was not there, and the shoot ended up starting late, and then later on in the day you're trying to catch up an hour later, and the customers, the coaches and the kids are all coming in, and you're running behind. They don't know that it's not your fault. So make sure that any keys that are needed for the gym or the gate to get in the parking lot, that's all dialed in, and then know where at the park you're going to set up. Okay, sometimes you'll get a location and it'll be XYZ Park. And you'll show up at that park and it's huge, and so I've had situations where coordinators will call me and say, your guys aren't here, and I call my guys and they're like, we're here, and they're at different ends of the park. Okay, and also even on a smaller park, a lot of times you'll show up, you'll set up in one place, and the coordinator will show up right as the first team's coming. Oh, no, you guys need to move, we always do them over here, And so you just want to be clear on where you're going to set up. That's all important. Get a map and be there early. I mean, try to be at these shoots an hour early. I know that sounds like it's too early, but things go wrong, things get forgotten, somebody forgets batteries, they got to go to the store, whatever. It just looks really good to the organizations if when they show up, you're sitting there smiling, okay? So in any case, now setting up the actual shoots, this is really important. You're setting up a production line, okay? This needs to be efficient and fast. The coaches come in there, they want to get in and out. A lot of the coaches are focused on sports, they're not focused on pictures, okay? So you want to take good pictures, but you want to get these teams moving through, okay? And there'll be shoots where everything's going great, and then all of a sudden you'll see some teams coming early and some coming late, and they bunch up on you. The thing you want to do is get every team in and out of there throughout the day as fast as possible so that you have as much latitude as possible. Let me go back real quick about the schedule. One thing that is a really good idea when you're telling a coordinator how to set up a schedule, if they're going to do a team every 5 minutes or a team every 10 minutes, ask them like every fifth slot, leave it open. So you'll have a team at 8, 8:10, 8:20, 8:30, 8:40, and then 8:50 open, okay? 8 and then 9 o'clock another team. That lets you catch up, and it also later, if a team needs to change their time, it gives the coordinator somewhere where to put that team, okay? I always prefer shoots that take a longer period of time. I'd rather do an 8-hour shoot than a 4-hour shoot, okay? Because I like things to be relaxed. I know I'm gonna keep more accounts if the people are happy and relaxed than if we try to jam them all through in the shortest time possible. Okay, and also I like to minimize staffing on shoots. I mean, I would rather do a shoot and have 3 staff there and then 5 staff there to shoot the same number of kids. That's just my preference, and also it keeps your costs down if you're owning the business. So always tell the coordinators to take as much time as possible, space the teams out, building catch-up periods and all that. My staff can always help you, review what a good schedule is and what your staffing should be based on the schedule that you're given, okay? So let's set up the shoot, okay? So we're actually near our office here, but I want to give you an example of some concepts that I learned over the years, okay? First off, you want to have a check-in table. It looks professional now. You don't need to do that if it's 5 teams, okay? But on most shoots, you want to have a check-in table where you have your extra order forms, your samples. People will naturally come up to that table, look at the stuff. You're displaying your products, and we're trying to make money here. There's an old saying, an item well displayed is an item half sold. So we display the products, okay? Extra order forms, pens, pencils, all that kind of stuff, okay? And so basically just look professional when people show up, okay? Now, let's walk over to our individual station here, okay? A lot of times at these shoots, you want to start with individual pictures because the teams are forming. You know, you have a few kids there, maybe your 8 o'clock team. I mean, let's face it, there's always some kid that's going to be late. So the team is supposed to be ready at 8. You're ready at 8. You don't need to wait for that last kid. You can start those individual pictures, okay? And one of the concepts on these shoots, and I have literally seen shoots where photographers could have been on time, but they were running late, and they got later and later throughout the day simply because they didn't set the shoot up for efficiency, okay? So here's a good setup, okay? Come on over. Basically, this is my individual station, okay? I would tell the kids, line up right here, okay? I'd say, Coach, please line them up tallest to shortest. They need their order envelope in their hand. And that's another video about the circling and all that. But basically, you're photographing them with those forms. I have a chair here. I'm going to tell the kids, come right up to this chair, okay? Guys, right up to this chair. And then what I'm going to do for them is I'm going to demonstrate my pose. If I'm doing a soccer shoot, all of you guys, please listen, okay? I want the ball under your arm, your hand on your hip, and look at me and smile when you take your picture. Everyone hold your envelope in your hand. I'm going to take a picture of you holding your envelope, and then I'll hand you the ball. So then I will ask one of the coaches, Coach, can you please come stand over here, and then have the coach help the kids, okay? The coach should pay attention to what you're instructing. It's so much better to instruct all 10 or 15 kids at once, and then have the coach stand right there. You don't touch the kids. Let the coach, if the shirts are untucked, everybody tuck in your shirts, whatever. The coach can help you. A lot of times the coach will hold the envelope and take it if you ask them. They'll hand the kid the ball. However you want to do it, but get one of the adults on the team to help you so you can make it go quicker, okay? And here's one critical thing, okay, is you want to have a marker on the ground for the kids to stand on. Otherwise, some kids will stand here, some will stand here, some will stand here, okay? You'll end up varying distances from the kid. I've seen that a million times, okay? we give you these. If you call Glory Days, we'll send you our little happy feet. The kids stand on that. You demonstrated ball under the arm, hand on the hip. Always the hand on the hip. Okay, we don't want the dead fish. Hand on the hip every time. Okay, look at me and smile, click. Hand the ball to the next kid, next. Okay, or hand it to the coach, take the picture with the envelope. Coach hands the kid the ball, next, okay? Then you tell the kids, you guys go line up over there for your team picture, okay? The main thing is you don't really want to go kid by kid, okay, giving instructions. You want to demonstrate for everybody, get one of the adults on the team to help you. Once you've kind of got organized with your team, you've got an adult there, the kids have been demonstrated to, they'll go through there pretty quickly, okay? Whereas if you have to go kid by kid, I mean, that could take an extra 2 minutes per team. It doesn't sound like a lot. If you're shooting 40 teams, that's an hour. That's over an hour by the end of the day in time that you've lost just going kid by kid. That'll add up. You can end up being a half hour late on your schedule simply because you didn't instruct the kids in the beginning of the day and you lost that time and it caught up with you. And also, have the kids stand close to you. You're the photographer. Have the line be right here, okay? And I've seen this before too, where you go to a shoot and the kids are way over here, lined up, photographers there. Look, this extra couple steps every kid has to take. That extra 20 seconds is going to be a minute and a half per team, 2 minutes per team. It's gonna come back to bite you, okay? If you're on a tight schedule, by the end of the day, you can be a half hour, 30 minutes, 40 minutes late, an hour behind schedule, simply because you didn't, in the beginning of the day, have the kids line up closer to you. You losing minutes, losing seconds matter. These are events, and this is a production line. This is I want everybody to understand that, okay? And you're judged based on how efficiently you do the shoot, okay? So I usually want my individual station fairly far away from my check-in station, and here's my team station over here. Come on over here. Okay, and I want that fairly far away from the individual station because I want the people spaced out. I don't want everybody jammed in one place, not because it impacts the schedule, but because it looks bad. When somebody comes up to a shoot and there's just millions of people standing in one small area, as opposed to a million people spaced out over a big area, okay, it just looks better when the people are spaced out, and the overall impression is not that it's chaos, okay? And let me tell you, I've done a million of these shoots, and you can be running right on schedule, but if you're jammed into a small area, coach after coach will come up to you and say, "How far behind are you guys?" And you're like, "I'm not far behind, I'm right on schedule." And it just looks like a big crowd of people, so they're assuming you're behind schedule. The next year you call the league, "I'd like to renew, how did it go?" "Oh, picture day was chaos." But it wasn't chaos. We ran right on schedule. Oh, it just felt like chaos. Look, space them out, make it look neat and organized, okay? Now, as far as team pictures go, always have a reference point for your back row. Here's how I'm posing my team pictures. I get coach line the kids up tallest to shortest, okay? How many coaches are gonna be in the picture? 2. One coach on one end of my marker, one coach on the other end, okay? 6 tallest kids, toes on the marker. It can be a string, it can be whatever. Line up shoulder to shoulder between the coaches. Put the coaches over there first, okay? Sometimes getting the coaches to move away from the kids is the hardest part. Get the coaches posed as your end posts. Feed the kids over to the coaches. Straight line. Next row, both knees on the ground. Come on over. Next row, both knees on the ground in front here, okay? Now, as far as the marker goes, you can use a string. This is a pole. A lot of photographers use like a broomstick. And then all you do is, when you're ready to take the picture, take it away. Okay, now it's not going to be in the picture. I used it as a reference to pose my team. Guys, look in here. Okay, 1, 2, 3, click. 1, 2, 3, click. Backup camera. 1, 2, 3, click. Okay, you guys are out of here. Please walk behind me out to the parking lot. Okay. Always do your team pictures on 2 cameras, okay? We've got that in the manual. I explain that in other videos, okay? 2 pictures on one camera, 1 picture on another. And while I'm on the topic of how many pictures to take, doing individual photos, okay, I literally have people sending me 5, 6, and 7 shots of every kid, okay? That's nonsense, okay? You only need to take 1 good picture, okay? If you know what you're doing, you're holding the camera up, keep your other eye open, Okay, you can tell if a kid blinks, and nowadays you can see on the data back whether they blinked. Okay, 1, 2, 3, looking at me, smiling, eyes open, click. Okay, 99.9% of the time that's going to work. If you think they blinked, take another one, but you don't need to take 5, 6, and 7 pictures. It looks really bad. Okay, when you're taking all of those pictures, believe me, it doesn't look professional. You're blasting a kid with a flash 6, 7, 8 times. You're taking a team of 10 kids and you're taking 80 pictures. You're making them stay there an extra 5 minutes. You're burning up your flash. It doesn't make sense in our business. I've never seen a situation where 5, 6, and 7 pictures made any sense, okay? 1 or 2 at the most. I mean, you should be able to get that kid to open their eyes within 2 pictures, okay? So the idea is move them in and out quickly.